WBO 12-stone belt for Hatfield's slick southpaw Billy Joe Saunders in with a long-serving orthodox warrior Martin Murray. These two were meant to meet in 2018. Their careers have paralleled at times amongst the middle and super middleweight divisions. So finally, Matt, it happens in a battle of Britain for world honours.
Yeah, Billy Joe, fantastic fighter, really skillful, great speed, lovely movement as well, controls the distance, controls the pace a lot of the time. But, you know, Murray, very, very good technician. Boxed really well when he fought for the world title against another southpaw, Sergio Martinez. So, you know, he's very good with southpaws.
Really unlucky that night not to come back with a world title from Buenos Aires. Also the draw with Felix Sturm just after you should have beaten Felix Sturm, so you both should have been world champion.
Yeah, maybe it's a fight that should have happened between the two of us, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. But you know, here he is with Billy Joe. It's his 5th shot at the world title, and you'd have to think that this really is his last chance at it. If he's going to become world champion, then I think he needs to make it happen tonight.
And at 38, 7 years older than Saunders. Saunders could be a bit rusty. Hasn't performed well for a while. He was so brilliant against David Lemieux, wasn't he? But up at super middleweight, yet to really shine like we know he can. I think that's the frustration about Saunders.
Yeah, I mean, last time out in Los Angeles, he didn't box well at all. It was he came out there late. There was an issue with his visa. Then he got there. There was the jet lag. He laboured really. But when he needed to put the punches together, when he had to find something, he was able to dig down deep and put the shots together and get the knockout win when he needed to. So that, you know, he's lots of ability in Billy Joe. Frustrating at times to watch because you know there's a lot more in him, but sometimes he boxes within himself.
Marcelo Esteban Coqueres, that was, in the Staples Center. Beat him in the 11th round. It was a really good finish and a pretty poor performance before that on the KSI Logan Paul bill. Murray just out of range with the right hand. Are the reflexes still there? The body looks good. They both look very impressive on the scales. Yesterday in the bubble, Saunders trying to get that southpaw jab flowing. He's holding his feet a bit more, Saunders. Body looks good. They both look very impressive on the scales. Yesterday in the bubble, Saunders trying to get that southpaw jab flowing. He's holding his feet a bit more, Saunders.
Murray's always been very good at pacing a fight, taking his time, picking his shots.
One of the strongest cards of boxing we have ever seen in this country.
Your dad wants me to download a playlist.
Nothing's fine until I'm all out of faith. You and me, darling. This is how I feel.
Whole grains, aren't they great? That's why we put every single bit of these grains into our snacks. Delicious. Grain Waves, a whole lot of whole grains in every bite.
The tight-knit corner of Martin Murray with Jamie Moore and Nigel Travers. Steve Prescott, MBE. Nobody deserves the title belt more than Martin Murray. The 5th time he fights for a world title. Got the draw against Felix Sturm. The controversial loss to Sergio Martinez. Arthur Abraham just a little bit too good for him. And, of course, Gennady Golovkin. But no disgrace there. Golovkin was really breezing through everybody at the time. Also, George Groves in our studio got a good win over Martin Murray. That wasn't for the world title. So this would be the 5th attempt. Some story, an opportunity for Martin Murray, but a heavy underdog here against Billy Joe Saunders, the 31-year-old in fight number 30. Just hear Mark Tibbs' voice from the corner. He's back with Mark. He's been around, hasn't he? Billy Joe, Jimmy Tibbs, and up up with Dominic Ingle, Ben Davis, and of course excellent trainers. It's just keeping his focus and keeping him right, isn't it? And when he's right, he can be fantastic.
Yeah, when he's on form, he's absolutely brilliant. He can be untouchable at times. He's such a fantastic mover. He's got great reflexes. He can just be hot and cold at times. Maybe they're not settling with one trainer.
Murray keeping his gloves up high. Strong and tough. Pretty good defense over the years as well. And as you say, paces these 12 rounds very well.
I think Billy Joe's doing the right thing when they do get close. Martin Murray's a very good body puncher, and he's really good at finding those gaps around the back of the elbow.
Defense over the years as well, and as you say, paces these 12 rounds very well.
I think Billy Joe's doing the right thing when they do get close. Martin Murray's a very good body puncher, and he's really good at finding those gaps around the back of the elbow. So Billy Joe, when they're coming together, he's getting right in up close, and he's tying up Martin Murray, not allowing Murray the room to get to work on the inside.
Well, more natural at super middleweight now, Martin Murray as well. Not the biggest puncher, 17 knockouts in the 39 victories he has. Billy Joe Saunders about half of his by knockout. He's a beautiful mover around the ring, stylish.
I think Murray hits harder than his record suggests. The thing with Murray is he doesn't really load up or doesn't overly plant his feet. He's so defensive first that he just puts the shots out there. He keeps touching, just chips away, puts rounds in the bag without exerting too much energy. But every now and then, when he does sit down on a shot, I think there's more power there than his record suggests.
Last 10 of the second round. Quietish start to this world super middleweight title match. Champion. And now defending his WBO 12-stone belt. Missed out on the fight with Canelo Alvarez. It was all set for May before the pandemic struck. He even was out there for a press conference. It was so close. Then it looked like it would happen in September, but Saunders said he wanted more time, and now Callum Smith gets the opportunity, and we wish him well. What a golden chance that is in a few weeks' time against the brilliant, exquisite Canelo Alvarez.
Break, one step. Keep it tidy and close.
But it's business for Billy Joe Saunders. He's got this fight with Martin Murray. It's a fight that he's got pressure on to shine, and it's a chance for Murray, after all these years and the agonizing defeats, to try and get one off. Nice work from Saunders.
Yeah, that was a beautiful left uppercut. Just before that, Martin Murray landed a couple of nice straight right hands into the body of Billy Joe. But that was a really well-worked, beautiful uppercut.
Just poking out the jab, Murray, but Murray inches closer together. He's got an excellent trainer in Jamie Moore in the corner, of course, Murray. And they say the preparation has been absolutely spot on, but they know that they're up against it. It's how he wins, Murray.
Yeah, Billy Joe's got to be really careful when he's on the way out, because Murray's very good at catching the shots, and as you try and pull out, he jumps back on you and fires back at you.
It's good combinations, though, from Saunders. Partially blocked by Murray. He's got that guard with the uppercut, and he can see that Saunders. That's where he's clever, right through the middle. The upper body movement, not the best from Murray, and these uppercuts could be a key weapon going forwards.
Yeah, it looks like he's found the shots, the uppercuts, the left uppercut, and also the one where he leans over his front foot and lands that lead right uppercut. Two very good shots from him. His jab's been working well too.
It's a better round this for Billy Joe Saunders, trying to prise open the tight crab-like defense of Murray, who inches forward. Good defense from Saunders, and if he can flow here and just give Murray angles and movement and things to think about.
Yeah, his jab's good, Billy Joe. Martin Murray's got a good jab. And he's throwing the straight hands, throwing the straight right hands off the body. That's an effective punch for him, especially against the southpaw.
Saunders is round though. He was good in this, the third. Such a proud man, Martin Murray.
10 seconds.
That uppercut's a lovely shot.
Yeah, timed that lovely. And there was the lead right uppercut where he leans over his front foot and he throws it almost like a jumping screw shot.
These two, there was a bit of needle a couple of years ago when Billy Joe Saunders pulled out twice of a clash with Martin Murray at middleweight, but all forgotten this week. Real respect between the pair, and especially at the press conference when Martin's late trainer, the great Oliver Harrison, was mentioned, and there was emotions, and Billy Joe Saunders was applauding Oliver Harrison and the work he did with Martin Murray, and it was good to see two excellent fighters, and now they meet for the world title. He's fueled by that as well, by that close link with Oliver Harrison. Jamie Moore, of course, who Oliver guided throughout his career. Lovely man, wasn't he? And a fantastic trainer.
Yeah, great, an absolutely lovely fella, and a great coach. And they had a very, very strong, tight bond. As Mine, I think, said during the week, he was a lot more than just a boxing coach to him.
Right hand from Murray was good.
Nice jab from Murray. Very quick with that counter, Murray. You've got to be with someone like Billy Joe, who's as slippery and as slick as him.
Good work from Saunders. Excellent, the speed there and the accuracy. He hasn't lost a fight in the UK since he was a 12-year-old boy, Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh, he's got great speed, fantastic timing, brilliant judge of distance.
He was a phenomenal amateur, he really was. Murray, a good amateur, mind you, boxing since the age of 7 from the St Helens ABC. Had some spells in and out of prison as a young man, so he turned his life around through boxing, which is terrific to see. And he's very popular, isn't he, Martin Murray?
Yeah, very well respected and universally liked by everybody in the boxing community.
Good work from Saunders. Murray takes that, doesn't know quite how to respond, whether with fire or with the defence up, but Saunders just beginning to prize those gloves apart and find the shots.
Yeah, that was a hard one too from Billy Joe. He really planted his feet.
Yeah, nice work from Billy Joe Saunders, and he's in trouble here, Murray, and he's down in the 4th round. No knockdown call by Phil Edwards, but he was in trouble there.
Yeah, I think he was hurt. There was, referee didn't call a knockdown. I think rightly so, but he did take some hard shots there.
Some very hard shots, and he's always been tough and strong and a great chin, Murray, but Father Time catches up, and will it tonight? Eat into the punches as well, grabs hold of the centre of the ring in the yellow and blue. Tom Beanie, his uncle who he lost, emblazed on the shorts, so he's got a real focus, Saunders. He was telling us this week that he's got the bit between his teeth and he wants to really make use of 2021 and get those career-defining fights, and this is excellent work from Billy Joe Saunders to the body with speed and accuracy and hitting hard.
Nice jab from Murray. Just going to count them counters coming back from Billy Joe.
Just on the move, Murray. Defence tight, springing the right hand in. Just on the move, Murray. Defence tight, spring. Needs to be getting a bit more success, doesn't he, the St Helens man? And just boxing well here, so he can come on strong, but Needs to be getting a bit more success, doesn't he, the St Helens man? And just boxing well here, Saunders.
Yeah, he's well in control here now, Billy Joe. Just controlling the distance, controlling the pace.
Out in LA last time on his Matchroom debut.
No, I think in fairness to Billy Joe, he didn't get out to LA, I think, until the Sunday, the Monday before the fight. He definitely will have been jet lagged. It was a below par performance without a doubt, but nonetheless, when he needed to find the punches to get the job done, he did do that, and that's the Monday before the fight. He definitely will have been jet lagged. It was a below par performance without a doubt, but nonetheless, when he needed to find the punches to get the job done, he did do that, and that's a sign of a good fighter, that even when it's not your night, things aren't going well, when you have to dig down and find something, he was able to do that.
Right into the body from Murray, but back comes Saunders with a beautiful combination. It's pretty dominant so far from the Hatfield southpaw, the world champion at super middleweight, Billy Joe Saunders.
You get me?
Yeah. Billy Joe Saunders.
You get me? Yeah. You know what I mean by that, Bill?
What did you do?
That's all you figure. What you're doing, you're committing, and it ain't there.
Okay.
He shouldn't be, stepping back.
Okay.
Nice. Those are good shots there from Billy Joe. You know, someone like Martin Murray's got as tight a defence as he has. It's difficult to pry open. You have to put combinations together, which is what Billy Joe was doing there.
Murray coming forward with that guard again. Can he get his own jab going? Still fluid enough, but that boxing brain of Billy Joe Saunders and the fast hands and feet. He's in round number 208 of his career. Martin Murray over 300 rounds of a pro career that goes back to 2 of Billy Joe Saunders and the fast hands and feet. He's in round number 208 of his career. Martin Murray over 300 rounds of a pro career that goes back to 2007 when he beat Cello Render in the prize fighter final. It seems a lifetime ago, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, Murray's very good at countering the southpaw jab with his own jab. He keeps the hands very high, and he's very good. I think that's what Mark Tibbs was talking about. He doesn't want Billy Joe to overcommit with the jab when it's not there, because Murray's very good at countering over the top.
Look for the uppercuts and the body shots. Saunders. Murray standing strong, standing firm, looking for his own body shots with the left.
Because Murray's very good at countering over the top.
Look for the uppercuts and the body shots. Saunders. Murray standing strong, standing firm, looking for his own body shots with the left hook, attempting to really take the fight to Saunders, maybe in the second half, that he believes that he can get to him and test the stamina and energy levels of Saunders.
Murray's very good at that mid-distance up close, even where he's great at finding the little gaps.
Phil Edwards tidying things up. Phil, who will retire as a referee this month, and we wish him well. He's been absolutely brilliant. Sad to see him retire. Still be a judge, but a referee this month, and we wish him well. He's been absolutely brilliant. Sad to see him retire. Still be a judge, but it's the retirement age, Matt, at 65.
Yeah. See Murray there trying to catch that, trying to land that short right uppercut into the solar plexus.
Talking in there, Martin.
Put that in the rust up in close and keep it clean. Understand? Understand? What's that?
I think they both know the rules now after all these years, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything dirty there. I mean, this is boxing.
Murray tries to dig in that right hand, but it's single shots from Murray, as opposed to the combinations, Matt, of Billy Joe Saunders.
That's good work from Billy Joe, and he's having the better of
Gloves nice and high. Murray tries to dig in that right hand, but it's single shots from Murray, as opposed to the combinations, Matt, of Billy Joe Saunders.
That's good work from Billy Joe, and he's having the better of these exchanges and the better of this phase in the round. But Murray's dangerous with that quick counter, that right uppercut into the pit of the stomach.
Yeah, he's got these countering shots, and with the left hook to the body. He's always been sneaky, hasn't he, at times in the ring, Murray? You don't quite know what he's going to do next.
Yeah, he doesn't telegraph anything. He doesn't load up. There aren't too many giveaway signs. You know, you're always watching your fight. You're trying to see a little bit of a movement in the shoulder or even the eyes. He's very good. He doesn't give you much. There's not much giveaway with him. Nice short right counter there from him. Nice short right counter there from him.
Halfway stage,
That stops those young legs.
Oh, can he do it? That's the question. Sound advice. Murray hasn't been able to be the bully boy, hasn't been able to get inside, hasn't been able to apply any kind of consistent pressure at all. The tricky back foot stuff that we saw in the first couple of rounds, that didn't really work either.
I think Sergio's spot on what he's saying. You know, we said this, we were expecting from the first round. It's a good left hand from Saunders. We expected Murray to try and, you know, pressure and force the fight with Saunders from the first bell. He came out on the back foot, trying to almost just ease his way into it. And you need to make someone like Billy Joe Saunders work really hard early if you want to have any success later on. It's a good left hand from Murray, yeah.
One of the best shots he's landed. Sergio says Billy Joe's pitching a shutout after 6. I must admit, I was looking at my card and thinking I can't make a case for Martin winning a round. So I'm glad I'm not alone, but I think you're pretty much in agreement as well.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. You know, it's been tough to score for Murray here.
Another one around the back of the head, and Phil Edwards going to work again, but I don't think either of these guys are the type that's going to be intimidated by any rough stuff. All the reports coming out of the Billy Joe camp, and you don't always believe everything you hear because false messages get smuggled out of camps as well, but all the reports that I heard, Paul, and you'll have heard better sources than me, were that Billy Joe was really switched on and focused for this one.
Yeah.
And just knew the importance of it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good body shot from Billy Joe Saunders. The reports were that he obviously was switched on, very good, and he must have been switched on for you know, the typical before and after pictures which you saw, because we all saw the photographs of Billy Joe looking very heavy. You know, we heard Eddie Hearns explaining, and Tanner mentioned that he was, you know, close to 15 stone, and he's probably lost about 30 pounds to get down to this, but over a long period of time, where he's been training for a long period of time, with his back with the new old trainer, so to speak, in Mark Tibbs.
Break! No punches. One step.
15 stone. When it needs a translation, 210 pounds.
Shoulder.
Good left hand landed there from Saunders. You see a little acknowledgement from Murray, yeah.
There's the head again.
One step back.
Boring in.
Keep it tight.
It's a tough one with the head, because Billy Joe Saunders has an argument that his head is down and he's walking forward, you see. He's not in an unnatural position with his head.
Well, this is getting really quite bad-tempered there, right on the belt. Martin again reacting. Billy Joe just saying, oh no.
Referee Phil Edwards just said to Billy Joe Saunders, next time it's a warning. That was the 1-2 at the start of the round, right down the pipe, good shot. Again, that's what his trainer Mark Tibbs was asking him for earlier.
They're locking on. He's dipping his chin.
Mark Tibbs actually arguing his man's case there.
And I can see the point. I know what Billy Joe Saunders is doing. The referee knows what he's doing, but in Billy Joe Saunders' defence, he's in a natural position with his head. He's the shorter man in there. He's dipping down and his head's in a natural position. He's not lifting his head up or pushing it towards Martin Murray. His head's in a natural position.
You ever sparred with either of these guys?
I sparred with Martin Murray as amateurs. I've done a couple of rounds with him when he just turned pro as well, but I'd never been in the ring with Billy Joe Saunders. I was a little bit older than Billy.
Well, it's round 8. The rounds are getting away from Martin Murray, who again, there's the heads all getting close, and it really is getting pretty rough and untidy in there. Well, I mean, Sergio said that he's got to try and get in there and be the bully boy. I mean, maybe if Murray can turn this into some kind of street fight, might give him just a chance, because he's not winning anything this way. And again, lovely work. He looks so much sharper, so much faster tonight than his opponent, Billy Joe.
Starting to find the target now, starting to step the gears up a little bit, put his foot on the gas.
And Murray is as tough as a lump of granite. He'll just take this and keep coming back for more, but
this is the type of fight what Murray needs.
Yeah.
This is what he needs to have a chance of winning.
But it's surely too late in the day already. And again, he does take some punishment when he goes in. Oh, that's a real one.
There was a couple of low ones just before that from Murray, you know, and I was going to mention there's a couple of low ones and Billy Joe Saunders didn't open his mouth about it. And again, like I said a couple of rounds ago, maybe that's his way of answering back, because he didn't moan to the referee. But on the slow-mo and the replay, we'll probably see at the end of the round, there was a couple of low ones from Murray just before that. I'm not justifying it, but, you know, he's a fighting man, Billy Joe Saunders. He'll take things into his own hands.
I tell you, Phil Edwards might take things into his own hands here.
I ain't doing nothing. Listen, tie these are both of you, okay? Tie here, back there.
You see Martin Murray saying, I'm not doing nothing. You know, Billy Joe has obviously said to Martin, you caught me low before it.
It's quite a respectful build-up. I mean, there'd been a talk of a fight a couple of times in 2018, and Billy Joe pulled out. There was a bit of chit-chat about that, but other than that, it was very respectful in the build-up. Anything but in there at the moment. Yeah, I'm just looking at Martin Murray here, and how many fighters would be pretty much out there already by now if they'd been on the receiving end like this, but he's so tough and so brave and so willing, Murray.
I don't like this talking to the referee from Martin Murray, you know, and when Billy Joe Saunders is getting inside, Martin's lifting his head intentionally to make it look like Billy Joe's putting the head in.
One step.
Beautiful work.
One step.
Anytime Murray does try and generate any rhythm, Billy Joe is so good at just tying him up. And
stop moving the goalkeeper. Box up.
The referee having to say to fighters, stop moving, Bolty. That's not boxing, is it?
No.
Boxing's one of the sports where the lads and the girls do not moan to the referee.
Phil Edwards has been very generous with both of them. I think if I was him, you'd might just have taken the point off one of them just to set an example, really, as much as anything. But he's giving them plenty of latitude here.
Oh, nice shot.
And Murray has just
two lovely uppercuts.
He's walked through it, though, but he's had to hold on here.
Beautiful.
He's so brave, isn't he, Martin Murray? That's never been in question, but he is really on the receiving end of what is turning into a really rough brawl now. And Saunders, look how cocky and confident he looks. As we see, said incidentally, fights against Felix Sturm and Arthur Abraham, he just felt I had a little bit left. I could have put a bit more in. I think it's really bugged him. It'll bug him probably for the rest of his life that he feels he could have put a bit more in. But here, he's giving it everything he's got, but he is just second best in pretty much every department here. Billy Joe has got his measure. Lovely backhand lead there. Pumping through Murray, who's just soaking it all up. Round 9. Still can't make a case for Murray winning a round, you know.
If Murray has any left what he's saying, and anything regret-wise, anything, you know, the old saying of the Rocky movies, you know, anything left in the basement, this is the chance now to leave it all in there. There's 4 rounds left. If you lose this fight, you're not going to fight again. If you win the fight, the only fight you're going to have is the rematch. Leave it all in there, you know, and he needs to come forward now. He needs to go for this fight, because you're right what you're saying. You know, there's an argument about not giving him any rounds. I haven't given him a round here yet, so he has to go for it. There's a good right hook from.
Well, I just saw that hug from Jamie Moore, and you did too. That's the body language that says, I'm not letting much more of this go on.
That's the body language of get out there, son, and leave it all out there. Give everything you've got, because, yeah, I'm not going to let another one of them go by.
No, it's the 10th round. What's been a very, very one-sided defence of Billy Joe Saunders' WBO super middleweight title. So he didn't want to talk too much about the winner of Canelo Callum, but he did admit that that's the one that he wants the winner of in 2021, and he feels that your brother can win that one. We'll know soon enough. Certainly it's going to take something extraordinary here for Billy Joe to be upset, and again the array of punches that come from Saunders. It was either you or Sergio, somebody tonight said he's just got every punch in the book.
Billy Joe Saunders thinks Callum Smith can beat Canelo. I think Callum Smith will tell you that he thinks Billy Joe's got a very good chance of beating Canelo as well. You know, for me, there's not many fighters out there that could beat him. That's a nice right uppercut there, sickening one from Billy Joe Saunders.
I'll tell you, the accuracy tonight from Billy Joe, I mean, as I say that in misses, but I mean the accuracy overall has been exemplary from the Hatfield man, and Murray is getting just battered around the ring here. He really is halfway through this 10th round, and it's been no better than the previous 9 for Martin Murray, who looks very, very tired. Body shot on the end there as Murray defended upstairs. Saunders found the gap downstairs, missed with the uppercut there, Saunders. Finishes off with the left hook as well.
Come on, lads. One step. One step, come on.
Martin Murray, it's a 5th time he's challenged for a belt. As this, I think, is the first time he's been comprehensively outclassed.
And again, you know, unless he knocks Billy Joe Saunders out in this round, then it is the last 3 minutes of his career.
A very mature and very polished and business-like performance from Billy Joe Saunders tonight. Very switched on, very focused. Has never allowed Murray. There's never been a moment in the fight where you thought, oh, he's letting Murray in here. I mean, he's given him absolutely nothing.
And again, you know, I keep saying there's another good left hand from Saunders there. I think Martin Murray a couple of years ago would have been in the fight and would have been competitive. And it's just, it's age. He's not just fighting Billy Joe Saunders tonight, he's fighting Father Time. And it beats everyone, doesn't he, Father Time?
Well, Father Time's way ahead on points as well tonight. I think he's going to call time at the end of this one. Martin's a good pro, and he's had a terrific career, and when you realise where his life was when he was a youngster and a teenager and in jail and all sorts of a mess, what a man he's become, and boxing has helped him. He's a family man, he's a good father, he's a devoted husband, and an all-round good guy who is respected by everybody on this side of the Atlantic. But I think anybody who is a friend of Martin Murray needs to say to him after this one, if he's thinking of going on, no, wrap it up.
Yeah, everything you said is correct, you know, and more. You know, I can only add to that and agree totally. Gentleman had an amazing career from the position where he was, you know what I mean? As a kid growing up, he was a good boxer, and he's excelled, and he's achieved so much in the sport of boxing in this country. So, you know, head held high, but this isn't nice to see.
No. But you know what? Martin's going to see the final bell.
Break. Nice and clean. Nice and clean. Come on.
We're down inside the last 30 seconds here. And the only discussion to be had is how wide are those scorecards going to be? Steve Gray, Marcus McDonald, Bob Williams, the three judges at ringside. It should be a pretty comfortable decision and an easy one. Yeah, Billy Joe's not going to try and do anything silly here because he respects Martin Murray as well. And you can be sure Martin Murray respects Billy Joe Saunders. Well, it's all over. And Sergio, would you agree with us that maybe it is time now for Martin Murray, that somebody needs to take him to one side and say, enough?
No, hands down. I think we know what Martin Murray is. He's a five-time title challenger, a tough guy, someone that always can go into the championship rounds with a blue-collar effort, but he just doesn't have that it factor to win a championship.
What about Billy Joe tonight? I mean, you know, I'm assuming you're seeing it the same as us, very, very wide. How would you grade Billy Joe tonight?
It was a bravo performance on Saunders' part. I like the fact that he didn't put it on cruise control. He tried to get that statement, that knockout in the end versus a fading Murray. But you know, that's what you have with Saunders. He fights with a high fight IQ, and he doesn't go to war. He snipes away. He's a sniper, and if he can't get that one shot, he'll just let it go into the decision, and that's what he did here.
It's good to see that there was respect between the two of them, and Billy Joe having a word with Phil Edwards, the referee, there at the end, and it did get messy and scrappy, but it was never had a nasty edge to it. And it was nice to see Mark Tibbs and the rest of that corner congratulate Martin Murray as well for his efforts tonight. But Paul, I'm looking at my card. I've got nothing but 9s against Martin Murray's name.
No, and listen, it happens. It's going to happen in a lot of people's career. You just go in that last fight thinking you're still a fighter from 2 years earlier, and it just catches up. We get in there and stuff you're trying to do. Your brain can see it, but your body just can't do it. They say it in football. The old players try and do the same. They just slow down, don't they? And you know, that's the sport that we're in. Unfortunately, Father Time beats everyone.
Well, this shouldn't take long. And really, it just remains to be seen whether it is indeed a shutout for Billy Joe Saunders. I think the decision's coming up any second now. Good to see Martin Murray can still raise a smile.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Steve Gray and Bob Williams both scored the bout 120 to 109. Marcus McDonald scored this contest 118 to 110. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. He's still undefeated and still the WBO super middleweight